Oh, Blair, my problem child. I'll tell you all about Blair in just a second here. Hey friends, my name is Julie.
I'm Daryl.
And welcome back to our farm. So you may have seen in our last video, we're going through our goat herd and trimming their hooves and doing some basic health checks. In that last video, we only got through, I think, 7 goats. So we have a lot more to do. And we're gonna introduce them to you each individually as we go. Now our goats rely on the forage and pasture out here for most of their nutrition, but they do need us to supplement them with minerals. And a good loose mineral mix is what you want for goats. They have soft tongues, so they have a really hard time with the mineral or salt blocks. This blend is primarily salt, but it has a lot of other trace minerals in it. Go girls. And that's one of the things I'm gonna go over as I check the girls today, is making sure that they have the minerals that they need. And I have a couple of supplements that we give them periodically that I'm gonna add in the feed of anybody that needs it. Yeah, Sabrina thinks she's special. It's more special right out of the cup. Yeah. She's a good girl. Alright, you're okay. No, Sabrina, you went last time. No, girl. Come on. What's up, Alright, good girl. So this is Hildy. We also call her Waddles because she has waddles. She is one of our Oberhaslis. She came from the same farm as Helga that you met last week. So we have 3 of them. She's actually Helga's daughter. And she had her first baby this year, and he is a big, beautiful buckling named Elon. So we're just gonna do some basic hoof trims, and I'm gonna check her for parasites. I also am gonna go ahead and give her this zinc supplement. These Oberhaslis in particular seem to have a tendency to develop dry skin and dandruff. And from what I've read, that this can really help with it. And I did give Helga one of these, as you saw in the last video, and I feel like her dandruff has really cleared up. It's like 90% better since she got this. So we're gonna go ahead and give Hildy one.
Waddles here had a deep pocket in her hoof. A piece of wood had grown into it.
Right there.
Julie's getting it all cleaned out now. She'll feel much better.
Hoof had grown around the piece of wood. So I'm being careful and just shaving off a little at a time because I don't want to make her bleed. And once you get into the white, it's not too much further before you get into the blood vessels. So, but I want to make sure that's totally open and cleaned out. I didn't bring it today, but if I had some iodine, it'd be good to spray that in there and help disinfect it. Calypso is up.
Come on, come on.
I got Sabrina. Good girl.
Up, 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 up.
They're scared of that towel.
Up, up. Oh, treats.
Yeah. Hi, girl. Hi, girl. All right. This is Calypso. She is a purebred boar. I got her with a big group of goats from a farm near Elizabeth City, North Carolina, a couple hours away from us, about 2 years ago. And she had her first baby this year. She's been a good goat. She's super strong. I call her the ox because every time I try to get her on the milk stand, she just bullies me. Yeah, she's strong like ox. Yeah. She's a bully. All right. Heidi's still over there chilling in the shade, so we're not gonna get her up. We're gonna get some of Calypso's sisters. So we've got Cinnamon here. Needs to go. She's a good girl. She's been trained on the stand, so she should be pretty good.
Let's go, Cinnamon. Let's go, Cinnamon. We're gonna go this way. Good girl.
Good girl.
Up, up. Up, up.
Stand up, up. You can see how big their bellies are. They're really full, so they're not super jazzed about these treats, but she'll eat them. All right, so this is Cinnamon. You can maybe guess why I named her that. She's this nice red roan color. She is also a purebred boar. She came from the same farm as Calypso. They're half sisters, and she had her first baby this year. Cinnamon did good. She just had a little bit of dandruff and her feet cut really easily, so she got done quick. Oh, Heidi's up. We could get her. She's our other Oberhaslis. She has been trained to lead and to get on the stand, so she should be pretty good. Good girl. All right, it's the last of our Oberhaslis. This is Heidi. She had 2 babies this year. She's been a real good girl, no health problems, just a little bit of dandruff like some of the other girls. We're checking for parasites. I'm doing 2 things really with these girls today. I'm using this little flea comb to check them for any lice. As far as external parasites go, they can have lice or mites. Mites you won't see with the human eye, but lice you can. And there are different types of lice, but some are blood sucking and will make them anemic. So it's definitely something that you want to be on top of. So far I haven't found any on any of these girls. I have found quite a bit of dandruff, so I'm really glad that I'm giving them that zinc supplement. The other thing that I'm checking regularly on these girls as far as parasites go is their FAMACHA score, where I check the color of their inner eyelid. And that's definitely a system that you want to be familiar with if you're going to raise any sheep or goats. If I was worried about parasites in any of these girls, the next step would be to get a fecal sample and actually look at it on the microscope. I actually have a really detailed video about how to check for parasites in your animals, including how to do a fecal exam with a microscope at home and how to treat them if you do find anything.
All right, we're gonna get Heidi back to the group and get the next one. Heidi out.
Yeah, somebody trained this goat to lead, and actually all the Oberhaslis are trained to lead, and they're super good. Really like dealing with those girls. All right, we need Blair, and we need the other two Boer girls. Oh, Blair, my problem child. I'll tell you all about Blair in just a second here.
You've been up here before. You know what you're doing.
She knows. They don't like that towel. Tell me. They're afraid of the towel.
You stubborn goat.
She's definitely gonna need to be tied.
I know.
She's got these really swept back horns and thin little neck. She can get out of pretty much any stanchion we try to put her in. This stanchion Daryl built about 2 years ago, specifically for our Nubians. So that's why it's really tall and it's got this wide neck hole, but a lot of the other goats can get out of it. All right, this is Blair. So this goat came in the group that Guinevere and Vivian came from. I believe she is Guinevere's baby. She was tiny. She was supposed to be 3 months old, but I mean, she was like a size of a 2-week-old when we got her. Totally emaciated, full of worms, and she basically died twice as a baby. Once shortly after she got here because of worms, because she was so anemic, and then as she was getting better, we had a really heavy thunderstorm, and Daryl found her in a puddle at the base of a tree, and we thought she was dead. She was cold to the touch, she wasn't moving. He handed me her limp body, and she made one little soft baa, and that was the only reason I knew that she was alive, and I was able to bring her back from the dead, basically. But as you can see, she is very stunted. She's always been really small. We've always had a really hard time keeping weight on her. She is pretty prone to parasites. She's got this funky eye now because she cut it on something recently. So she's just kind of been a bad luck goat. I should probably sell her, rehome her, and I've kind of tried in the past, but I just don't want to give somebody else a project, and I have so much time and energy into her. I think we might just be stuck with Blair for the time being. That's how it goes, raising goats. They're not all gonna be superstars, but you gotta do the best you can with what you got. You may have noticed when I was talking there that Daryl cut Blair's foot a little bit when he was trimming. It's something that happens. See, he didn't even go that deep, and he hit some blood vessels already. That's why we keep this quick stop powder on hand anytime we trim goats. All you do is slather it on there like a paste, and it stops the bleeding right away.
Blair, let's go. All done. Good girl.
Good girl.
Just wait. I saved your life.
He did. He saved your life many times.
You still hate me. Go on. Alright. So we got triple nipple and crystal.
And crystal, yeah. Yep. All right, this is Crystal.
Let's go, girl. Come on.
She's like, I'm so full. I don't want to go anywhere.
Up, up.
She's only been on this stand a couple times in her life. She's not very trained. You can stand up. There you go. Pretty girl. All right, this is Crystal. She is another of our boars that came in the group with Calypso and Cinnamon. And she's had 2 babies, and she's done a really good job both times.
Well done. Well done. Good girl.
So the next goat we call Triple Nipple. You can guess why. She has an extra nipple on one side. She looks almost the same as Crystal. They are sisters, but she's got a little bit of color on her neck. I'm not sure where she's hiding right now. Here she is. We can't always put the grain down. She's hard to catch. Hey girl. Hey sweetheart. When you can't catch a goat, just get some grain. They usually come running. She's fighting a tree branch now because she's mad. Come on, girls. Come on. Oh, it's just this one. I got her. There's green for you out here. Come on, girl.
Up, up. Up, up.
Come on. Good girl. All right, let me show you why we call her Triple Nipple. You can see on her little, it's not a bad little udder, except for this. She has a little extra nipple on there. She only had one little buckling this year, and he had no trouble nursing on either side of her. So I'm not as concerned about it. I wasn't gonna breed her, and then I thought we'd try it. I think she also has, yeah, like an auxiliary nipple on this one too. But I'm not gonna keep any of her daughters because that is a fault that'll get passed on genetically. But for her to have some boys for me to raise for me is not a problem as long as she can nurse them, and she's proven that she can do that. So she's a keeper for the time being. So in addition to the zinc supplement that we're giving them, I also give my goats a copper bolus a couple times a year, at least once a year, sometimes twice, depending on how often we get to it. Most of these girls got their copper bolus when they were in the milking barn before we moved them out on pasture. But we didn't get to all of them, and a couple of these Boer girls didn't get it. So I'm making sure that they get it today and show you what these look like. They're literally little gel caps that are full of copper wires. So they're just copper oxide wires, and these slowly dissolve in their gut and slowly release copper into their bloodstream. Copper is an essential mineral for goats, but it is toxic for sheep. So we like to give the same loose mineral to both our sheep and goats, but then we supplement with the copper in just the goats only. So they don't really love this. You can open these up and just sprinkle the wires in their food, and that works pretty well. Today, these goats are really full, so they're not eating their grain as voraciously as I would like. So I'm not gonna mix it in the food, I'm just gonna bolus it to her. And I do that by just shoving it to the back of their throat as far onto the back of their tongue as I can, and then I hold their mouth shut and I rub their throat so to induce swallowing. So let's do that with her. All right, that's it for Triple Nipple.
Come on, Triple Nipple. No, no.
It's a horrible name, but I think I did name her something in our record book, something different, but we just call her that. So that's her name. It's stuck. Good girls.
All right, guys, we're gonna call it quits here. That takes care of all the adult goats that we have. Next time we're gonna be doing some of the babies and we'll introduce you to them. If you wanna see how we test our goats and sheep for parasites, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching.